Let's begin by clarifying the topic of this session. Denari has a module called e-correspondence that allows you to send statements by email. You can send receipts, pledge statements, pledge acknowledgments, and end-of-year tax statements with e-correspondence. That is not our topic in this session, however. We will be discussing email that you can send through Denari to name records either as a mass email or individually that contain specific messages in the same way you might send email through your personal email software. Let's begin by looking at mass email. Mass email is sent through NameSegmenter. The advantage of using NameSegmenter is that you can use the filters there to send your email only to a specific group of people. For example, you could email to only those who have a specific classification, or to those who gave more than $500 in some date range, or to those who live in a specific zip code, etc. I should note here that the mass email option from NameSegmenter is fairly basic. It does not offer some of the features like tracking that a specialized program like Constant Contact offers, but it does allow you to send basic email messages to a select group of people. Another advantage is that the email is going out through the Denari servers, so there's no limit to the number of emails that can be sent. Most email service providers like Gmail, Yahoo, etc. put a limit on the number of emails that can be sent at one time, so it's difficult to send a mass email from your personal account. Let's look at how this works. We'll go to the Donors tab and then NameSegmenter. And I'll do a search for one that I've already set up here. Here on the Filters tab, we can select our criteria. If you need more specific details about how NameSegmenter works, you can check out the video on that topic. But I'll point out quickly that in addition to the other filters, you can also limit the output from this segment to just those with an email address. You can do that by expanding the miscellaneous section, and I'll scroll down so you can see the Has Email field. Choose only those with an email address. Once our filters are set, we can click on the Output tab, and in the Output field we're going to choose HTML email/segment file. There are other email options there, but this is the one that is used most often. And first we'll select who the email is coming from in the From field. The values in this field will need to be set up first, and I'll show you how to do that a little later. Then we will type in the subject, just as you would in your personal email software. Next, we'll click on the HTML editor link. If you need more specific details about how the HTML editor works, you can check out the video on that topic. I've already put an email address or email body here for us to take a look at. Let me scroll around here so you can see it. And from the email, you can see that we can add pictures, we can underline, we can bold, etc. Basically do anything that you can do in an HTML page. Once your email is set the way you want it, you'll click Save at the top of the page and then Close to close that window. Now we can simply click the Run Segment button at the top of the page, and Denari will begin sending the emails. There are a couple of things to note here, however. As I just said, Denari starts sending the email when you click the button. There's no way to stop it or take it back, so you'll want to be sure that the list of names that you want to send to are the ones that are actually being sent. You might want to create a classification called text email or something like that and assign that to just your name record. Select that classification in Classes In and run the segment to just you first so you can see what the email is going to look like. Once you're sure it's the way you want, put in your real criteria and then run that to Excel to do a quick overview of the names to be sure they are what you want. Then finally, when everything is accurate, run the segment to send the email. As mentioned earlier, this is a basic email function. It does not track bounces or read email like a specialized program like Constant Contact might. Denari has an interface option with Constant Contact that will allow you to upload name segment lists to your Constant Contact account, where you can take advantage of more sophisticated features if needed. A record of mass emails sent can also be created in each donor's contact section. This is, however, optional. Let's go to the Admin tab and then Company Information. At the bottom of this page, we find the field called Mass Email All Addresses on File. If this box is unchecked, Denari will create a contact record for each name record who has been sent an email. The contact record also includes the contents of the email body. We'll look at where that happens in a few minutes when we talk about single emails. Some Denari clients don't want to create the contact records each time an email is sent, either because they don't want a record or there's just too many records. If you send a mass email to 5,000 people, for example, then Denari will create 5,000 contact records, so you can turn this on or off here as needed. Now let's back up a little to set up the email senders. These are again the members of your staff who will appear as the sender of emails that we saw a few minutes ago in that drop-down field. To do that, we're going to go to the Admin tab and then set up registered email senders. To create a new record, we'll just click Add New and then fill in the email address and signature. The signature is just the name of the person. We'll click Save, and now this person will appear in that drop-down field in Name Segment as a selection in that field. Denari will also allow you to send an email to a single donor or name record and keep a record of that message. To do that, you must first be logged in as a user in Denari, and your user record must be set up with an email address. If you're unsure of how your user record is set up, your system administrator can simply go to the Admin tab, User Setup, select your user record, and then check the email address there. Second, you'll go to the name record of the person to whom you wish to send the email. So let's go to the Donors tab, Nameless Management, and we'll select a name record here. From inside that record then, you're going to click on the power bar, the one that looks like the little two people here on the right, and from that menu you'll choose Send Email. The email window will appear. The From field will show the name of the user by default that comes up from your user record. You can change this here if needed. The name between the parentheses is the name that will appear as the sender of the when the recipient receives this email. The To field will list the available or active email addresses for this donor, and you can choose the one you want. In this case, we only have one. Enter the subject and then the message body below. You can use the fields available to format the message. This does not allow for pictures, however, at this time. Once our email is the way we want it, we'll click on the Send Email Message button at the top of the page and then click to close the window. Denari will create a contact record in this donor's contact section, and it will be marked as a single email in the Schedule Type field. To see that, let's click on the Other Pages drop-down and choose Contacts. I don't have an email contact record here, but you can see one similar to this following the email. This is the same location where contact records will be created by the mass email as well if you have turned on that option. The body of the email that you sent, let me scroll down just a little for you. The body of the email that you sent will be visible by clicking on this View HTML Message link here in the upper right of the Notes field in the contact record. Some browsers handle this link a little differently. Some will open the message in a tab, some will open them in a separate window, some will download the contents. You'll need to determine how that works in the browser that you're using. This concludes this session on email from Denari. If you have any questions, please contact tech support through the support button at the top of the Denari page.